I'm back in the mix making another video. So I had a good day. How was y'all? Today I'll be talking about dreams. Now, dreams are very important to me, to you. I mean, I hope you've dreamed before at least before. So yeah, that's cool. I dream a lot. And I don't know, but my dreams are very unusual, to say the least. They say dreams are sort of a sign of life, um, sort of like it kind of reflects like your everyday life, things you need to know, signs, things of that nature. And I kind of don't understand that because I've had dreams that kind of relate to my present day life, but for the most part, my dreams they're completely random, like the most random things ever. I don't know if that's normal or not. I hope, but I'll give you an example. Last night, I had a very weird dream with some homies. As per usual, we were hungry, so we're like, okay, we need some food. And I was the only one with my car for some reason, the only one with my car. So I say, yo, we should get some food. I'm hungry. We're hungry. So I say, let's go to Jack in the Box. And everyone's like, yeah, that's a great idea. It's like two homies, one homegirl. For some reason, I didn't drive my car. I let one of my homies drive my car. The other one sat in the front. I sat in the back and next to a homegirl. In my dream, as I was thinking about that, I was like, why am I not driving my own car? That's dumb as shit. That's goofy. We'll say goofy. So we get to driving, apparently we're in a place where we're unfamiliar with because we're using a GPS. And it's telling us to go. And so we're going, for some reason, it's like a giant monsoon / tornado storm comes upon us. And as I'm dreaming, it's like I'm half conscious in this dream. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, why am I having this dream? Like, who gets in the car, goes to Jack in the Box, and somehow ends up in a natural disaster? Anyways, we're going, and I can just see waves of water just covering the highway. And midway through, I'm like, yo, bro, this is a terrible idea. We should have went to DQ. And so I'm like, yo, for some reason, I'm still sitting in the back, not driving my own car. I'm like, yo, bro, let's just go to DQ, bro. It'll be easier. And the homie tells me, he's like, can't go to no fucking DQ. We already started this journey. We gotta go to Jack in the Box. I'm like, why are you taking that serious? DQ is good too. They got blizzards and shit. Burgers. The chicken, the steak fingers. I fuck with those. So I'm like, dude, you overreacting, bro. And he's like, nah, we gotta get through this storm and go to Jack in the Box. I'm like, we could die, we're in the middle of a storm or a flood. I don't know. When I woke up, I was like, what significance was that in my life? I don't know. Maybe I haven't went to Jack in the Box in years, so I'm like, don't let people drive my car. I don't know. I don't know. The night before that, I also had a weird dream. So I'm gonna tell you about 3 major dreams. That was the first one. This one, the last one, will be one that I remember my entire life. So last night, I had another dream. I was in school with classmates or people from high school, I think. And we were like in like a seminar, like a assembly for some reason. And so I'm like back and forth talking to every single person at the assembly or like all the people I know. And I sit next to this girl or whatever, and she's like really hot. And so like I sit next to her, I look at her, and like I'm about to start talking to her. And like she's like the prettiest girl ever. I don't know if I've ever seen this person in real life or not. So, but I look to talk to her, and then like I look back like into, I guess, wherever the stage would be at the assembly or seminar or whatever, and I'm in my old house for some reason, and my mom and dad are there, and they're like telling me like, yo, you need to set up, we're having your father's side of the family, they're coming over, and like everything that I just mentioned is gone, and I'm just at my house, but it's like my house combined with my cousin's house. Like, do people ever have dreams like that where like the setting is like a combination of like 2 or 3 settings that like or are familiar with? Anyways, that happens to me. So yeah, now I'm trying to set up, and like I know my dad's family or whatever. So like I know how many like chairs or tables or whatever needs to be set up. And so I set it up, and like my mom and dad are like before it starts, and I'm like, yo, I set it up, we're ready to have family over for some reason, even though we don't have family over like that, so I guess. But anyways, they get angry at me for some reason. They get like irrationally angry at me because I didn't have enough chairs or tables to set up the function. I'm like, I know you said it's gonna be my dad's side, so like I have the correct amount of tables or chairs or whatever. The setup is complete for X amount of people. And so they're like, oh no, we're having more people over. And they're like, oh, and they're like angry at me, like, why did you have this much amount of chairs? And I'm like, you told me it's gonna be a certain group of people that I know the amount of the people. And they're like, but you didn't know that, you shouldn't ask. I'm like, you should have told me there was gonna be more people. I'm like, no, you should have just asked how many people was gonna be there. And it really made me angry. Like, it made me irrationally angry at my parents, which doesn't ever really happen. But I'm like, what is this supposed to mean? And that was kind of the end of the dream. Like, I was just furious at my parents, and they were like furious at me for some reason. I don't like, what is the significance of that? I don't know. So let me see. Honorable mention, I've had a lot of dreams where I'm falling off of buildings. Like, I've fallen off of staircases, skyscrapers, houses, any kind of thing. I've fallen off of it in a dream before. Like, and it's just like an infinite fall. Like, imagine you're falling, but it's like in slow motion. Terrible, bro. I swear, it's like you can feel your heart just freaking shrinking as you're falling for some reason. I'm like, oh my God, this is dumb. What does this mean? I'm like 5 years old having dreams on falling off of buildings. I'm like, yeah. Now this last dream, this one I think is like the most significant. Or this dream is weird as fuck, but it kinda gave me a kinda hint to life. It kinda shaped the way I am today. I probably had this dream when I was maybe like 5 or 6, and I'm gonna explain it, and it's gonna sound so dumb. It's gonna sound terrible. So myself, Josh, as you know, I've already introduced myself. I'm Josh, but I'm like spectating this guy or whatever, and it's like in like, I don't know, the 70s or the 80s, and this guy he's like a kid. He's like my age or maybe a little older. Maybe he's like 8 or 9 and I'm like 6. And this guy from like the 80s or whatever, he's a really good kid, this kid, and he moves or whatever, goes to a school and tries to make friends or whatever, and like he's trying to fit in or whatever, which is natural. Kids like to fit in. They like to be with whoever is popular, so it kind of makes sense. But to be with like this cool group of boys or whatever, they're like really like mean or whatever. So they're like, okay, you gotta do all these trials and tribulations to join the group. After he does it, they say, okay, you can join the group, and he's real happy. And these kids are like mischievous kids, and he's like a good kid. He eventually does all the tasks they tell him to do, and they like befriend him or whatever. So at school, the school he's in, at the lunch table, they're all eating lunch, and the leader of the group is like really loud. He's very loud. So like everyone's just hooting and hollering, they're all having a good time, and they're all like eating lunch, and they're hungry. Everyone finishes their lunch, and the boy finishes too. Everyone's finished with lunch, and the leader of the group, of the bad group, whatever, is like, he's like, everyone's still hungry, and he's like, are y'all hungry? And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're still hungry, bro. The lunch wasn't enough. And so he's like, he grabs a cleaver, and he picks up the cleaver, and like, he says, who wants monster seconds? And everyone's like, yeah, we do. And so he literally, this is what happened in my dream. He picks up a giant cleaver, slices the good kid's head off, and deep fries it. And they pull it out of the deep fryer, and all the kids eat his head. And I'm like, that, as a kid, that scared the fuck out of me. Because I'm like, they just killed him for no reason. And then they ate him. Like, what? I'm like, that's so, what is this supposed to mean? But I think over the time I kind of discerned the meaning of it. So I guess like subconsciously as I grew older, I knew not to hang out with the wrong crowd, because they'll backdoor the fuck out you. They'll cut your head off. They'll put it in their deep fryer. They'll pick it up, and they'll eat your brain matter because they're hungry. So stuff like that where I'm like, so random. How do I apply such a dream to my actual life? I'm like, can you? So I was like, okay, that one kind of made sense, although unconventional. And that's a euphemism for don't hang out with the wrong people because there's cannibals, I guess. So yeah, um, I had another dream. This is a quick one. I was in Mortal Kombat. I fought against Goro, and he killed me. That was another dream. I had a dream I was in a zombie apocalypse, and I was in a giant empty football field, and it was like me and one other girl. What? Explain that? Explain that. I can't. So stuff like that where it's like dreams don't make any fucking sense. They don't make any sense, any coherent sense, nothing. So stuff like that where I'm like, yo, dreams are some fucking bullshit. Uh, unless you have like dreams like aspirations, that's different. I have aspirations. I like my aspirations, goals, stuff like that. That's cool, but waking up in a sardine can next to giant sardines, that's stupid. That's like out of all the things my brain could conjure while I need to sleep, shit like that is like why I don't like going to sleep. Why that might be why I have insomnia, because I have the most nonsensical, creepy ass, backwards world ass dreams, I guess. Hey, if you liked the video, I guess you ought to like it. If you disliked it, you should probably dislike it. If you think I'm a terrible person, I'd probably disagree with you because you don't know what you're talking about. If you see this video, tell me some of your dreams. Tell me if they make sense to you. Tell me some of your weird dreams. Let me know if I'm the only person on the earth that has ever had such random dreams. But yeah, um, I had a good time talking to y'all. Uh, maybe in the next video, if I have another dream, I'll just throw that in. But yeah, y'all have a good day. Talk to y'all later.